Okay. I want to kindly confirm if everyone has fixed their video sessions, your camera, your audio, everything is fixed. Because when we start the manifesto reading, we would have our videos on, so we can have faces attached to their names, and then can also cast our votes, knowing who we are voting for. If you haven't done that, kindly just use this opportunity to set your background and also your presentation if you have any. I would also want to draw your attention to myself. So I'm going to rename myself as moderator / timer. So I'll be your timer for today alongside moderating the session. So when you start speaking, I indulge that you pin me so that you would see my cards whenever I show them. So I have 3 colors, red, yellow, and green. Each one of us have 15 minutes. And at the very first 5 minutes, I'll give you the green card. On the second 5th minute, that is on 10 minutes, I'll give you a yellow card. And on the final 5th minute, 15 minutes time, I'll give you a red card so that you know. This is just to help us know how much time you have left. Please, I hope I'm clear enough.
Yes. But your video is not on.
Yes, I won't be turning on my video.
Okay.
I'll only turn on to show my my poster cards. So something like this. So when you pin me, anytime you are speaking, you would see a display of my poster cards. So currently I am showing the green card. So as and when I'm to show you either of the colors, that is when I'll turn on my video so that you don't get used to my face. At least miss me small ahead of October. Okay. So without much ado, I kindly would ask one of us to pray for the meeting. I think let me nominate my own boss, Madam Millicent Deborah. Please, Mark, can you kindly pray for us so we start the session? Thank you. Madam Millicent, if you're on call and can hear me, can you kindly give us an opening prayer? Thank you.
Pray. Oh, shall I just log in?
Yes,
Hello.
ma. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Shall we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this morning. We pray in the name of Jesus. We ask for your Holy Spirit to come and take control over our discussions this morning. Let it be successful unto your glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. So now we are supposed to have a welcome address from the president. I don't see him on call yet. Auntie Senam, are you able to confirm if Prof is with you or he's yet to join?
I haven't heard from him this morning, but I think he should join us. Maybe.
Yes, he promised to join us. So are you able to help me remind him again that we are on call?
All right.
Thank you very much. So while we wait for Prof, I would want to take the stead of my boss, the chair for the electoral committee. He would also join us soon. He's currently speaking at another webinar, which will be rounding up in few minutes. So he has asked that I moderate whilst waiting on him. So the purpose of this session is just for our candidates to share with us the direction that they are trying to lead us on, and also how we can hold them accountable. They are also going to educate and inform us about some of the things they plan on doing for us if voted into power. So at this moment, I want to go ahead and share the order. The order of presentation. So as and when we have Prof, we would just have him give us his address. So the order of presentation is we would have the president aspirant come on first, followed by the vice president. The general secretary is next, treasurer, then followed by the PRO. Then we have the chair of nutrition, chair of dietetics follows, zonal rep on governing board follows, student rep on governing board would be next. Then we have chair, practice standards and accreditation. Then finally, we have the chair for Gand Foundation. So this is the order in which we are going. I will still introduce aspirants when it's time for them to speak. So if you don't get me on your position of speaking, I would still introduce you. So Prof is not here yet. I think we may proceed with our
Portia, 1 minute.
Yes.
Sorry, you'll join soon. You'll
Okay.
join very soon. We can just hold on for a little bit.
Okay.
But you can start talk whilst we wait for him. Thank you.
Okay. So while we wait, let me just tell you the number of nominees we had. We currently have 12 positions, 11 positions, and we have 12 candidates. We happen to have the general secretary being vied for by 2 good people. So we don't intend to have a very long session since we have most of the portfolios being unopposed. Someone will be asking if every position has just a person, why are we reading manifestos? It is necessary because of the things I mentioned. At least let us know what they are bringing on board and let them commit to us a way of accountability so that we can hold them accountable if their promises are not fulfilled. Great. Prof is with us now. So without further ado, I would kindly call on our president, Professor Kingsley K. Asari-Preku, to give us the welcome address. Please, with a virtual round of applause, kindly make welcome Prof onto the virtual podium. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, and good morning. I hope we are all fine. I hope you can hear me, please.
Yes, loud and clear, sir.
Right, good. So I think that Gand has gone through many a year of revolution, and honestly, looking back 5 years ago, I just can't believe that 5 years have come so soon. And it's really, really very important that we get people who, 1, have the passion, 2, have the vision, 3, are ready to make sacrifices. Quite a lot of things are needed to get this done. And looking forward also, there is a lot that we need to really, really achieve. I am not too worried about the few people who have put themselves up for this position, because one, it's very sacrificial position. But I am more inclined towards what they have for us in the future as we transitioning into another phase of Gand. And so I'm really, really even not too surprised that we don't have almost our full membership attending this all-important thing, all-important program. I see only 21 members online, but I believe this program will be recorded and shared for members to also listen to all of us. It's an election that will determine our future going forward. It's an election that will determine what we can make of ourselves as a profession. And I look forward that we get men and women that will stand the test of time. I believe in the capacities of all who have put themselves up, and I hope and pray that we would make this a seamless process and a very welcome process to get ourselves new leadership for the next years ahead of us. Thank you all for making yourself available to serve this great institution. I must say that you are taking over an organization that currently is so much revered within the institutions of state in Ghana as far as nutrition policy and many other things are concerned. You're also taking over at the time that we still do not have quite a number of our fraternity with us. And the law backs you. And you are taking over from a time that virtually all the structures are in place for you to ride on. Gand is fully registered as an organization. Gand is has satisfied all its financial obligations as far as the state is concerned, paid our taxes. You are taking over when we have audited accounts. You are taking over when everything actually is set for you to do something better. And it will be nice listening to you, what you have for us for the next future. And I would want to thank the Electoral Commission. I would like to thank the Electoral Commission and the committee for making this engagement possible. And I believe going forward, that is also going to be enshrined as part of our processes in Gand, part of our electoral processes. So thank you, our able Electoral Commission for making this special occasion. And thank you all for organizing this. I wouldn't take much of the time. I want to wish everyone well going into the elections. Let's have a happy manifesto time. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Please, let's give Prof a virtual round of applause. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so I think we are just about starting to hear from our candidates. And like I mentioned, we'll be having the president aspirant on the virtual podium. He is in the person of Reverend Prince Bedu. So let me tell you something about the nomination forms. We had a place where candidates told us how they want us to address them. So you might see some of our names without titles. That is what they prefer we call them. So don't take offense on behalf of another if I don't add a title to their names. They chose for us to call them by that. Thank you. So let's welcome on the virtual podium Reverend Prince Bedu, our president's aspirant. He works with the Tema General Hospital as a registered dietitian. Please, with a virtual round of applause, let's have Reverend Prince Bedu. Thank you. And over to you, Reverend.
Thank you very much, Mayaya. I'm grateful, and I want to acknowledge the President, Prof. Peace, and all of us. Thank you for the opportunity. I will just a moment. Okay, so I will speak on three broad areas. I will speak about my profile. I will speak about my plan, and I will speak about my plea to all members of Gand. So I'm Reverend Prince Bedu, a dietitian of 15 years professional practice. I work with the Ghana Health Service as head of the diet therapy unit, Tema General Hospital, and also serves as the general management team member. I have been a preceptor for all the public universities and some private universities as well for the past 14 years, assisting with professional training and adaptation of dietetics and nutrition students, as well as some physician assistants and nursing students. I have also mentored several dietetics and nutrition students or interns. Please, just a moment. Nutrition and dietetic interns over their 1 year compulsory internships. For my academics, I hold an MPhil in dietetics from the University of Ghana and a Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I'm an alumnus of Africa Nutrition Leadership Program, ANLP, and I hold a postgraduate diploma in nutrition from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Professionally, I have been privileged to be mentored, tutored, and work with several of the individuals who are institutions in their own rights, individual dietitians and nutritionists. On the dietetic front, I have passed through the hands of Mrs. Adeline Owusu, may her soul rest in peace, the former chief dietitian of the Ministry of Health, Mrs. Gertrude Wilson, former chief dietitian, Ghana Health Service, Dr. Gladys, former chief dietitian, hospital, and as well. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. I have also had the privilege to have defining moments of discussions with the first dietitian on our soil, Mrs. Kaukumi, that is Mrs. K. On the nutrition front, I have passed through the hands of Professor Analati, Professor Steiner-Asiedu, Professor Esibebeko, may his soul rest in peace, and our own Professor Ayite. My association with these gems of our great fraternity has given me great perspective regarding our synergic importance in the scheme of the health of our nation. On the leadership front, I first joined the leadership train of our fraternity in 2009 as the treasurer of the SWA Ghana Dietetics Association. After our term, I moved on to be the secretary of the same association. And moving on from there, I became a member of the Constitution Committee of the then Gand Information, and I also became a member of the transition team for Gand. Then I moved on to become the substantive member of the governing board as the chair of practice standards and accreditation. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe these chronicled events of my past have given me the adequate wealth of experience to lead our great organization, Gand. My plan. So I have a five-pronged plan or approach to leading the Gand for the next 3 years. I have given it the P5 plan. So it is my plan to lead Gand, to populate Gand, to position Gand, to prosper Gand, to pioneer, and also to permeate through every nook and cranny of our country, the sub-region, and our world. So as I speak, the numbers in good standing, or members of Gand that are in good standing, are about 300. And I plan to, as a matter of urgency and as a matter of importance, lead Gand to grow this number to 1,500 in the next 3 years. And I seek to do this by working together with the entire government board members and also seeking the buy-in of all the members of Gand to bring in all nutritionists and dietitians in Ghana and even beyond to be part of this great move and this great fraternity. In the second prong is to position. Fortunately for us, if Gand were to be a child, it will be entering its 6th year, which is getting into the normal stream of academics. So all the key things that we have to do at the foundation by the Kingsley Prego administration has been done, and Gand is in a position to grow and find a rudiment of its on its own right as an organization that will be a force to reckon with in the world. So I seek to work together with the team to consolidate our position of significance in the international nutrition and dietetics sphere. So for now, we are well placed in the IUNS, and I seek to lead the Gand to be able to maintain our enviable position and our prestigious stance in the IUNS fraternity. I also commit to lead Gand to finish up the process of joining the International Confederacy of Dietetic Associations and also play a key role in that sphere. Under positioning, I seek to lead Gand to systematically create world-class nutrition and dietetics professionals. And this is to lead to the attainment of prestige for the use of the name dietitian or nutritionist in our country and even beyond. And this is to also create a niche for nutrition and dietetic practice in Ghana. On the leg of prospering Gand, I seek to lead our great academy to position, to dovetail our positioning agenda into the drive to increase our push to get more clearance from the Ministry of Finance and work hard to secure the sole right to opening and operating practice centers of dietetics, nutrition, and health shops to be the sole preserve of the properly and duly licensed dietitians, nutritionists, who are trained to do exactly that. So the quality of our practice, which I've spoken about under positioning, will make it also attractive to be able to have our own private centers, have our own private shops. And even if another person opens a shop, which is a dietetic shop, a nutrition shop, or any a shop that will be selling nutraceuticals, those ones, as I seek to lead the team to speak to all possible and all appropriate authorities to get us to be the operators in that sphere, so that we'll be able to, even if a non-nutritionist or non-dietitian opens such a shop, they would have to use the license of a dietitian or a nutritionist before they can operate. Pioneer. I realized that over the years, our academy has done a lot and has gained a lot of prominence in the international and African sphere in terms of our nutrition laurels. I seek to lead Gand to pioneer the formation of an alliance for dietetic practitioners in Africa. And that's one, I believe that the work that is required for this to happen, I will lead the Gand to come to the place where we'll be able to have at least a few of the key centers of Africa, or the countries in Africa that practice dietetics, to come together to form an alliance, so we can push the African nutrition and its utilization in the dietetics sphere. On the last prong of my 5P prong approach, I seek to lead Gand to permeate and gain new grounds in industry, Ministry of Education, and other big organizations. So when you read the Ministry of Education, actually, we are supposed to have nutritionists and dietitians at the various schools, just like we have the counselors from the Council for Mental Health. So they regulate the counselors. Now you cannot practice as a counselor in the schools, just like not as in those days that they could have any level-headed person to be a counselor in schools. Now they have to certify counselors to be school counselors. And I seek to lead them to be able to speak at the top level discussions with the ministers of education and the Council of Tertiary Education, so that we'll be able to push and get grounds and get slots for our professionals to be able to manage the preventive health of the schools, so we can impact on the health from the nutrition front, so we don't get many people moving into the various conditions that are going in our country. So I work with the team, I work with Gand to be able to permeate, to gain new grounds in industry, Ministry of Education, and other big organizations, so we can have our presence very much felt. My plea, I ask that members of Gand, ladies and gentlemen, you vote for me to lead Gand to achieving these ideals, and so that together we shall make our academy great and strong. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Prince Beidu. Please, let's give him a hand of applause. Thank you very much. So we would now have our second on our list. the Vice President aspirant, Anthony Kula. Sorry if I didn't get the pronunciation right. So Anthony Kula works at the Regional Health Directorate, Upper West Region, as a registered nutritionist. Dear Anthony Kula, the virtual podium is yours. Please, let's give him a hand of applause. Thank you.
Can you see me? Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah,
Yes,
we can
I
hear you.
can hear you, but I can't see you.
I don't know what is happening. My video is on, but it's not showing. Okay, whilst it's picking up, I may just have to start. It's surprising and that is happening today. Anyway, so like the moderator said, I am Anthony Kula, Regional Nutrition Officer for Upper West. Over a decade, let me just give a background of myself and zoom into what I will support the president and the others to do to make sure that we move Gand to the next level that all of us will be proud of. I have over a decade of experience as a nutritionist with Ghana Health Service, working from the district up to the region. And so with some few academic qualification, I hold a BSc in community nutrition from UDS, and then an MPhil in nutrition and dietetics from KUST, and a certificate in maternal nutrition and childcare from Japan. And beyond being part of Gand, I also belong to the American Association for Nutrition. And having worked with the region and the district and liaising with the national, I've come to realize the importance of we nutritionists and dietitians working together. Since I have done both courses, I'm in a better position to appreciate how we need to work together to improve the total health of our population. So having said that, I will just talk about some few things. Like I indicated, I will give all my support to the president in his mission and vision for Gand, but also bringing to light some observed challenges and what we can do together as a team to improve Gand. I will start by saying that there is strength in numbers, and of course, looking at the nutrition front and the dietetic front, if we can get up to 70% from each between now and the 3 years, then we will have the numbers that can help us do a lot of things that we need to do. So first thing I will talk about is for us to look at how we can make sure that we mobilize resources and then make sure that Gand becomes visible. And by doing that, it will make Gand attractive for many people, to many nutritionists and dietitians to join us. The other thing that we can do moving forward to make sure that we have a lot of our colleagues joining Gand is for us to what I term as regional engagements, where we can engage nutritionists and dietitians at the regional level with all the relevant people we need to bring on board. Engage them, let them appreciate what exactly they stand to gain. And by doing that, we will get some numbers coming in, and then we can be able to do as we need to do. The other thing I think we need to work on is how we can also regularize our dues as we paid upfront, rather than paying it from packet, we need to see how we can get the numbers and engage all the stakeholders so that it can be deducted from source like other associations are doing. If that is done, then we can always project what can come into us. And then we can plan with it. Can you see my picture? Can you see my picture?
No, we
Oh.
can't see your face at all.
Okay,
Just your
then
voice.
I think whatever be the case, I don't know why today my computer is misbehaving. Anyway, so let me finish up, then I will see what maybe as I work on it, I will show my face along the line. So as I indicated, when we are able to engage the nutritionists and dietitians at the regional level, then we'll be able to win them to join us. The other thing is, as part of how we will go around it, we need to have a roadmap of how we will let society appreciate the importance of nutrition, not just as a health issue, but as a developmental issue. That will rebrand us and make us important in every aspect of the life that we find ourselves. The other thing I want to support is to make sure that we put Gand as the mouthpiece to respond to the nutritional challenges of our country. I have heard some other people responding to nutrition and dietetic challenges in this country, and I think somehow we haven't branded ourselves enough for them to see us as the appropriate people to respond to those needs. So it's key for us to rebrand ourselves and make sure that we are seen as the right people to respond to the needs, the nutritional needs and challenges of this country. The other thing I will want to talk about is for us to see how we develop nutrition and dietetics beyond the master's program that we have currently, or PhD programs that we have here. We are in a system where they are now looking at specialists and consultants. The last time I remember, I was part of a committee that drafted the specialist programs. We need to push for it and see how we can get it started so that we can also have specialists, nutritionists, and dietitians. And that will come with an attractive enumeration, and that will keep a lot of us within the nutrition and dietetic front, because we are having an exodus of nutrition and dietitians, because you get to a level that whatever you do is like somebody will always be your supervisor, which is not the best for us. So we need to work on how we can bring in membership and fellowship courses for nutrition and dietetics, so that we can also get to the position of being called specialists, and then in that order we can bring some new face to nutrition and dietetics. Of course, like I've said, the other thing we need to do, or now we'll want to liaise with the president, is for us to convey a consultative meeting with all key nutrition dietetic groups and see how we can have a roadmap, and then develop what we can do yearly for members, so that when people appreciate the benefits they will gain by being members of Gand, maybe conferences, sponsorships, free CPDs like other organizations or other associations are doing, it will be an incentive for many people to try to be part of Gand, other than being a Gand member. And then when you want the CPDs to renew your PIN, then you have to pay for the seminars. I think we need to move beyond that to make sure that it is an incentive for members to join us. If they join us, then we have CPDs free for them. Then they will see that the payment they are making on dues is really useful, and they will see the need to continue to be part of us. So essentially, this is what I think we can do together but we will need the support of every member and every executive, so that we together can work to achieve this noble goal and move Gand from where it is now to a higher level for all of us to be proud of. Over, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Anthony Kula. I can see we are on the prosper and populate Gand agenda. Amazing. Please, let's put our hands together for Anthony Kula. For those joining us now, I earlier on sent a disclaimer, and I want to say it again. On our nomination forms, all nominees had the opportunity to tell us how they want to be addressed. So you may hear me adding titles to some names and others without titles. That is what the candidate prefers to be called. So please do not get angry for me not adding your favorite title to your favorite person. Thank you. So since we've heard from the president aspirant and vice president aspirants, let's have our general secretary aspirants. The first to come on podium is Steiner-Asiedu. She works with the Tamale Teaching Hospital as a registered dietitian. With a virtual round of applause, let's welcome Steiner-Asiedu. Thank you, Madam. The podium is yours.
Thank you very much. I don't know why. Hello. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Okay. Yes, so thank you very much for this opportunity given me. I'm really grateful to be part of this process. My name is Steiner-Asiedu. You've made it, but anyway, it's normal. A lot of people find it difficult. I come from, I work with hospital. So I did with UDS, University for Development Studies. Then I studied at the for my master's, and currently actually a student with University for Development Studies, studying public health, nutrition, PhD. And my work as a registered nutritionist at TTH, I head of UN for about 5 years, and treating them. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Tina. Your line was breaking.
Yes. Yes. Breaking so badly. Sorry, the network here is so bad, especially in the office. And I had to be at work and then move aside a bit to do this.
Okay, Madam Tina, I think to help your
So
network,
with students, I have been involved in.
I want to suggest that you turn off your camera so that we can hear you audible enough.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's fine. Okay, so I am also involved in students training. We have a lot of students, nutrition and diet students from UDS, from Kintampo Health Research, from Nalerugu Training School and other training institutes, where I have the opportunity of engaging them in nutrition trainings, which is one of the things that I also do. And I've been in that practice for almost 13 years. And I think I decided to run in this race to help bring Gand to where we always wanted it to be. Actually, I've been a member of Gand for some time now, and I've worked in some committees, such as the Constitution Committee, where we had quite a lot of fruitful discussions. So some of the things that I will want to bring in as a general secretary is to help or give administrative leadership. And in this, I know we already have a lot of administrative leadership in place where a lot of things has been going. If not, I wouldn't even be able to do this or have this manifesto in the first place. So I want to look at developing, ensuring that roles are being developed well and responsibilities are given, where we have a defined document that gives out the roles and responsibilities and expectation of all administrative positions that members should know or staff would carry on to ensure that things work out well. So in that, an organizational chart will be created that virtually represents the hierarchy and lines of communication within the academy. This helps to clarify reporting structures and ensure that everybody understands their role within the organization. And so to do this effectively, I would, as much as possible, ensure that there is effective communication channels. And this can be done as through internal newsletters. So distribute internal newsletters or bulletins to keep members informed about important developments, upcoming events, and organizational achievements. And of course, one of the key roles is also to ensure that meetings that are held or scheduled meetings, regular meetings are held to discuss ongoing activities, challenges, and progress, and which would include all key stakeholders in this meeting to ensure transparency and inclusiveness. Okay, so effective record keeping and documentation is very important. We always say that once work is done and it's not documented, then the work is not done. So I am thinking of trying to implement a digital record management. So implement a digital record management system to store and organize important documents, including meeting minutes, financial report, membership information, and policy documents. Ensure that these documents are easily accessible and to authorized personnel, because it might not be everybody who should be having all the information, but the ones that are supposed to be given to a particular group of people, it should be accessible, that they should have it. Then also I want to create a standard operating procedures, SOPs. So develop and maintain SOPs for all key administrative processes, such as membership registration, event planning, and communication. So these SOPs will help ensure consistency and effectiveness in operations. Aside that, it is very important. We all the president's aspirants mentioned the visibility of Gand. And, you know, if we don't make ourselves visible, then all this we do may not be able to take us in. So one of the visibility things that I think we'll be able to do to sell out Gand is to make sure that we have stakeholder engagement and collaborations. So partnership with government agency, establishing strong relationship with relevant government ministries. For example, of course, Ministry of Health, where we belong to, agric, education, to influence national nutrition policies. So participate in government-led health and nutrition initiative. And of course, collaborate with NGOs and other international organizations. So work with non-governmental organizations, international health organizations, and other professional bodies to align efforts and advocacy for improving nutrition policies. And then, of course, engage with academia, partner with universities and research institutions to gather evidence that support policy proposals, engage joint research projects on key nutrition and dietetics issues. Research, of course, is one of the areas that, as a general secretary, would encourage so that we conduct policy-oriented research, undertake researches that address current nutrition challenges in Ghana, such as, of course, malnutrition and food insecurity, diet-related diseases, and then use these findings to inform policy recommendations. We could also have the nutrition surveillance and data analysis systems, publish, write papers and reports, and disseminate this to our members so that they are able to know what we have, so they can create the awareness in public. So public awareness campaigns can be organized, and for instance, the national nutrition campaigns launch nationwide campaigns to raise awareness about the importance of good nutrition and the role of dietitians in promoting and nutritionists in promoting health. We also use various media platforms and health fairs to educate the public about nutrition and healthy eating habits. So these are some of the things. So of course, grassroots mobilization is going to be one of the ways that's networks that can mobilize community, train local advocacies to effectively communicate nutrition messages and influence nutrition decisions. For instance, in some areas, I know that people go onto the radio or the media, so radio, television, to talk about nutrition issues. So all these are keys or ways of being able to communicate what we do as Gand to the public for them to understand and appreciate what we are there for. If we don't make ourselves visible, then it will be very difficult for people to be able to listen to us and understand what we can do. But all this can be done if effective communication goes on well, with the grassroots being involved. I mean, at the regional levels, we have various regional reps. So all these groups within the GANs could be effective if communications are carried through. And of course, as a general secretary, it would be one of the things to ensure that these communication channels are properly followed, and then we are able to sell out what Gand is about. For me, and keeping all records clean and making sure that all communications move to where they are supposed to be timely. Timeliness is very important. And if this is not done, then GANs would not go anywhere. So it is in collaboration with the other team members, with the president and everybody else, to be able to give effective communications to make sure that we are able to move GAN forward. So thank you. And this is what I would be proposing for GAN if I am made the general secretary. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A virtual round of applause for her. I'm very excited about how our numbers are increasing. Our second general secretary aspirant is in the person of Joseph B. Dankwa. Joseph B. Dankwa works at the South Tongu District Hospital. He is a registered dietitian. With a virtual round of applause, let's welcome Joseph to the virtual podium. You're already smiling. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. So this is me. My name is Joseph Bamfodankwa, and as already told, I work as a dietitian at the South Tongu District Hospital in Sekapope. For the sake of internet stability, I'd like to turn off my video so that I can communicate my manifesto properly and accordingly. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our esteemed president in the person of Professor Perko, and all who are online today. Thank you so much for making this opportunity available. I'm honored to present my candidacy for the position of General Secretary of the Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. With years of experience in the field of nutrition and dietetics, coupled with a deep sense of commitment to the advancement of our profession, I'm very eager to contribute to the growth and development of Gand at this point. My vision is to create a dynamic, supportive, and a unified organization that not only addresses the current challenges we face, but also sets a strong foundation for our future success. A bit of my background: I studied dietetics at the University of Ghana and graduated in 2017. Afterwards, I set up a private consultancy, or what we call a social enterprise, called Helpmates Nutrition. And today, I've been able to build Helpmates Nutrition to a point where it's attracted lots of international organizations as partners. Currently, through the works I have done with Helpmates, I've been granted a full scholarship to study a Master's in Business Creation with the University of Utah in the United States. And all of these things inform me that, things are being done right. Now, as a candidate for the position of General Secretary, my vision is to foster a dynamic and supportive environment that advances the professional development of our members, while at the same time addressing pressing challenges within our field. One of the critical issues we face, in fact, I faced after school completion, is the high rate of unemployment among our graduates. And I'm well aware that there has been no financial clearance for the recruitment of nutritionists and dietitians since 2021. And this is a critical issue that deserves some attention. To deal with this, I intend working with executives to ensure the establishment of strong partnerships with healthcare facilities, private healthcare facilities, and food and nutrition industry to create paid internship programs and job placement programs that are tailored to meet our members. Additionally, I will help organize skill enhancement workshops, focusing on the emerging trends in nutrition and dietetics, and introduce special programs to make our graduates more competitive in the job market. My little experience working on a social enterprise in Ghana has exposed me to a lot of what other entrepreneurs are doing, even people who are not within the professional space of nutrition and dietetics are doing things, that help to enhance the food security issues we have. And I think when we set our precedents right and encourage and train our members or graduates, they'll be able to put up a very competitive challenge to the growing economy. I'm also committed to streamlining the continuous professional development processes, thus ensuring that members can easily access and benefit from essential learning opportunities. By providing business training and establishing regional innovation hubs, I will help empower our professionals to start their own nutrition-related businesses and develop new health and nutrition products or services. We always talk about membership, we always talk about getting ahead, and yet we have lots of graduates who are home. And I believe when we grant them the opportunity and support they need and are able to establish their little, nutrition consultancies wherever they are, and we have our numbers grow, that is how we can get the attention we need in this country. Beyond that, I know this is possible because I have had a first-hand experience in social entrepreneurship within the medical nutrition ecosystem. So in my capacity as a general secretary, I'm going to prioritize a clear and consistent communication. Members will receive regular updates on the latest developments within the Gand fraternity, including policy changes, events, and opportunities for their involvement. Additionally, I will ensure that members are continuously informed about their registration status and the overall membership capacity of Gand, which I believe will foster transparency and trust within our association. Furthermore, I intend to work with suitable members and partners to access grants and support for research projects and social impact projects, encouraging them to publish their findings and present at national and international conferences. This will not only enhance our collective knowledge, but also elevate the feasibility and credibility of the Ghanaian nutritionists and dietitians on the global stage. Today, there are a lot of grants, opportunities, and facilities that are available for all of the accelerator programs that I have been fortunate to qualify for. I rarely see fellow dietitians and nutritionists as part of those cohorts. And it is my vision and hope that we'll be able to build members to take up such opportunities to enhance our visibility as a professional body. Lastly, I'm committed to ensuring a strong collaboration and united front between dietitians and nutritionists within Gand. By fostering unity in all of our endeavors as professionals, I believe we can advance our profession collectively and make a significant impact on the health and well-being of our dear nation. My candidacy for General Secretary of the Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics is driven by a strong desire to enhance our professional and support the growth of every member by addressing the key issues such as unemployment, professional development, research, and by enforcing unity between dietitians and nutritionists. By this, we can collectively, elevate the standards of practice in Ghana. And I am committed to transparent communication as well, continuous improvement, and a strong collaboration to ensure that Gand remains a leading force in promoting the health and well-being of our nation. With your support, I'm very confident that we can achieve these goals and make a lasting impact on the future of nutrition and dietetics practice in Ghana. So I respectfully ask for your votes and support to make this vision a reality. Together, I believe we can achieve these goals and make a lasting impact on the future of nutrition and dietetics in Ghana once again. Thank you all very much for considering my candidacy.
Thank you very much, Joseph. I don't see a lot of people clapping, so let's kindly put our hands together for Joseph. I acknowledge that we haven't taken questions yet. Please take notes of your questions, and at the right time, we would have them. Our next to come on podium is in the person of Felicia Konyong Eje Danso, popularly known as Felicia Danso. She works with the Northern Regional Hospital as a registered nutritionist. Kindly have the podium if you're on call, Felicia Danso. Thank you. I don't seem to see her on call. She was on a while ago, but she's not here. Okay, while I reach out to her, let's take the next person. PRO aspirant. Our PRO aspirant is in the person of Pearl Selom. Pearl Selom works with St. Elizabeth Catholic Hospital as a registered dietitian, and she is our PRO aspirant. Pearl, if you're on call, kindly have the virtual podium. Thank you.
Well, it seems your mic is muted.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Pearl Ehonam Selome. As our moderator has rightly introduced me, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of all our able outgoing executives and my colleague aspirants as well. Just a moment. Okay. Please, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, please.
Okay. Because of the internet connectivity breaking on and off, I would like to turn off my video now so that I can go ahead with. Okay, so Pearl Salome is a registered nutritionist dietitian with over 12 years of progressive experience in the clinical and administrative roles. I currently serve as the head of the Nutrition and Dietetics Department in St. Elizabeth Hospital, one of the child facilities in the Ahafo region. Well, my experience also includes lead roles in projects, volunteering, social mobilization, and media engagements. I have also served Gand as a member of the Gand Publicity Committee, the HD4L Committee, etc. I know that our current executives and my predecessor have done a lot of work in trying to bring Gand in the forefront of the public. But also there is still a lot more that we need to together do to bring Gand's mission much more closer to the public's attention. It is my firm belief that with the knowledge and skills and team player ethos and my networks that I've built over the years in my various roles, I'm very well suited to serve our dear academy as your PRO. When given the mandate, I would work with leadership to execute my core mandate of bridging the gap between nutrition and dietetic professionals and the public, and to ensure that members are well informed about the academy's activities. I seek to do this in a threefold approach. That is, improving Gand's online presence. I'd like to ensure that our website and social media handles are up to date with regular and engaging content, featuring research findings, articles, inspiring stories, and then member spotlight to motivate and inform members. Also to improve Gand's media presence. I'll facilitate media engagements, building a team of nutrition and dietetic professionals with effective communication skills to share evidence-based information and practical content via our traditional and new media platforms. I would also work with executives to educate the media on nutrition issues. This would improve their understanding and reporting on issues related to nutrition and dietetics as well. Thirdly, I would like to also improve publicity for Gand activity and initiatives. I will leverage on my networks in the media and use our social media channels to ensure adequate publicity for Gand initiatives and activities for both members and the public. This would enhance participation of members and the public in Gand initiatives. When giving the mandates, I would also work with able executives to ensure that there is collaboration between Gand and the other professional bodies. I feel there is still a lot more that we can do around that, like working together with other professionals, including professionals, bodies like the GMA, the GRNMA, etc. I feel there is so much more that we can do with these other professional bodies if we collaborate. I would also use my office to help coordinate media engagements for Gand. This is to help improve the collaboration and interactions that members would have to educate and inform the public. And also build a team of nutrition professionals who would be readily available for media engagements to avoid the cases that sometimes we have of misinformation and inadequate information that usually happens around nutrition issues in the country. I believe that when we work together to achieve this, we'll position Gand in the national and global front while ensuring that we have a full, vibrant membership that are fully involved in most of the activities that we would present for Gand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pearl. Please, let's put our hands together for her. We won't be having our treasurer aspirant today. We are excusing her because she's currently bereaved. So we would be going ahead to the various chairs. Let me see. At this point, I would humbly invite Professor Paul Amma, the aspirant for the Nutrition Group Chair. Professor Paul Amma Ayi, if you're on call, the virtual podium is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. My one and only Portia, yeah, you know. The name has always been Paul Ama Ayi, not Paul Ama. It's Ama, please. Posh.
Sorry, sir.
Don't worry, don't worry. I know you are not the only one. A lot of people may mention my name in the, even the IE is not, is actually IE, but we prefer to call it IE. And there are various versions of it. Yes, I'm excited to be part of this program. Let me also acknowledge the past executives, or should I say the outgoing executives, and as well as the various aspirants who are all poised to deliver their speeches, or should I say their what do you call it, their programs that they have in mind, their memos and so on and so forth for our hearing. Mine is a straightforward one. I wouldn't like to bore you or anybody else who is present. The name has been a well-known name, household name, especially in the northern region. I'm in UDS currently, a retired public health nutritionist. I've been in the field of nutrition and dietetics. I'm not a dietitian though, but I've been handling, I've been teaching, I've been producing, or should I say, I've been training students and others and graduates in all that field for the past almost 30 years. That has been my passion, training of students in nutrition. I'm sure right now, I'm sure about half of the people on the field have passed through my tutelage. I'm a very proud nutritionist. You can call me a nutritionist. Even that is why I say I'm very proud, and I've been a champion of nutrition since the earliest ages. I was a member of the first group that set up the Ghana Nutrition Association. I was a founding member, you can call it that way. I was in Ghana Nutrition Association for all these years. And then until it transitioned to Gand. I've also been in Gand from the beginning up to this time. But I've enjoyed to be in the background, to be honest with you, because of the training I went through, and I'm sure a lot of people who have gone through the ANLP will bear me out. You are trained to be a leader from wherever you are. You don't have to be in a position to lead. You can be wherever you are, and once you know the qualities you have and you bring it to bear, that will stand out as leadership. And I've been doing that from wherever I have been, championing nutrition in so many quarters, in webinars, various fora, seminars, amongst my students, at the radio stations, debates, chiefs' palaces, in the rural communities. Name it. Wherever I've been, I've tried to champion nutrition. Now, I will also consider myself a nutritional scientist because I encompass everything that is gathered or can be gathered under this science. And that includes nutrition itself and dietetics and other nutritional sciences, other aspects of nutrition. Because for me, nutrition is a very large and encompassing subject. That is why I love nutrition. Because of the role I have played over the years, I feel that it is time. I don't want my lights to go out before I get into the forefront of helping to champion nutrition. And when I say nutrition, let me be more succinct, to champion nutritional science as a chair of nutrition, I believe that nutritional science must stand out clearly, especially in our agenda as a nation. And it is only Gand at this moment that can bring this to bear. So as a part of this executive, playing the role of the nutritional chair, I'll make sure that together with the others, we bring nutrition to where it belongs in the national agenda. At the moment, nutrition is nowhere. It's not where it's supposed to be. Everybody is kicking it everywhere. Everybody just is like a baby, an orphan baby, and everybody just carries it. So we should put it where it belongs. And when I say nutrition, that's why I keep going back and forth. It's not just nutrition as a particular area, but the nutritional sciences. And if we rightly define it and divide it, we will know where it belongs. I also believe that one of the reasons why nutrition is not really very widespread or very much subject in our the developmental landscape of the nation is because it is being fractionated. We are trying to divide it. That's the honest truth. I'm being very honest. I'm not trying to pick on anybody. We are trying to divide it. And that's why you see, I said nutritional sciences. If we forge ahead with nutritional sciences, there will be no division. And some of my other aspirants have spoken to that effect, how we need to come together. The nutrition and dietetics is one. It's from nutritional science is one as a combination. But when we start emphasizing nutrition and then dietetics and then this and start doing things in our different opposite ways, we will not get the messages across. So my main role will be to ensure that we harmonize the two, nutrition and dietetics, and push the agenda forward. Put the whole nutrition agenda, which encompasses both the nutrition fraternity and the dietetics fraternity, ahead and forward in the landscape. Policies are also very relevant for pushing the agenda forward. So I will help together with all the nutrition conscious individuals in the Gand to facilitate the drawing up of policies. I'll help by bringing out policy briefs, and then the rest of us will build it up and then try to lobby the policy makers and push it ahead into wherever it has to go, so that we have to pass very relevant nutrition policies. At the moment, I don't see any proper nutrition policies, because I believe that if we are able to do so and bring everything to bear, even policies that border on health must be driven in the nutritional front and the nutritional side of things. Policies on agri must have nutrition embedded, so much infused in it, so that we know that what we are doing, we are not just producing foods that will fill our stomachs and so on, but foods that will enrich our health. So those are the sort of things I'm going to be helping to bring forward, so that we have a lot of nutrition, because that is what we are. We are our nutrition. So if we don't help things to move in that direction, then we are going to be impoverished in terms of our health. Those are some of the things I'll do. I hope to also ensure that the nutrition landscape is so vibrant, is moved to the extent that people will love to become either nutritionists or dietitians, not by virtue of what they will gain in terms of remunerations or monetary terms, but in terms of how they will be able to make people see the relevance, achieve the health that they are supposed to derive from nutrition. I have been particularly involved in a lot of these the aspects of nutritional education and bringing people to understand how nutrition is part of and parcel of our health, in fact, and part of our disease as well. So I'll be able to educate people. And I know that nutrition, and for that matter, dietetics, can bring people to that relevance and that knowledge. We also want to build a formidable group of a cadre of persons in the nutrition and dietetics fraternity that will champion the cause of nutrition in the years to come, because now we are entering into a new era where what I mean, this AI and all those things are becoming very prominent. So we're going to explore that. I hope to come in and explore how nutrition and AI could be worked together or to come together to enhance our nutritional front. I think not, like I said, I didn't want to bore you so much, but if I want to recount everything, including my experiences and everything that I have to give as on my manifesto presentation, it might take us a long time. So I would like to end here by saying thank you to all of you for listening to my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof, for being so brief. It's amazing to have you speak in a very limited time. Thank you. Please, let's put our hands together for Prof. The next on our list is the dietetics group chair aspirant. He is in the person of Dr. Frank Eto Atta Hayford. Please, sorry if I've murdered any of your names. With a virtual round of applause, let's invite Dr. Hayford onto the virtual podium. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President and fellow colleagues, the governing board. Can you hear me loud and clear? It appears where I am, the reception is not very good, but I'll try my best to be also audible enough. So thank you very much, Madam Moderator. Even though you have murdered one of my names, I think you are pardoned. So thank you, colleagues. It's always a pleasure to have the opportunity to interact with you any day, anytime. But before I go ahead, I know my other colleague aspirants have said a lot of things that sort of intersect or cuts across some of the ideas that I have. I call them ideas that I have, and I'm looking forward to not only working together with my colleague aspirants, but also the whole Gand fraternity in order to actually make it a dream come true. But then before I say anything, I would also want to add my voice in saying kudos to Professor Kingsley Prekom, with his able lieutenant, Mr. Percival Godot, and the other governing board members who have actually worked tirelessly to bring this organization to where it is. I strongly believe they've laid down solid foundations for the incoming executive to actually take the organization to the next level. They have really also built on what previously their work wouldn't have been easy if the erstwhile Ghana Dietetics Association and the Ghana Nutrition Association have not actually built a solid foundation, for the two organizations to come together. So I would say thank you and kudos to you. By way of introduction, so as the moderator has introduced me, I would want to briefly also introduce myself. So my name is Dr. Frank Atta Hayford. I have actually been involved in nutrition and dietetics practice, training, and research since 2007. So my passion for dietetics.
Hello, Doc. Can you hear me, please? Oh, okay, he's back.
Yes, hello. Madam Moderator,
Hello,
my
sir.
apologies. Yes, so I'm back.
Yes, sir. So you can keep it on
Can I go
audio so
ahead?
you can help the network. Yes, please, you can.
So as I was saying, I got involved in the Ghana Dietary Association as far back as when I was a student. I was actually the student rep on the executive council, representing the students. Of course, during those times, the dietetic training was only in the University of Ghana. So I was a student rep, and then I rose to the rank to become the vice president at one point where I served with RD Daniel Mensah, and then our president aspirant, Reverend Prince Bedu, and then also worked with RD Eunice Bepo, where I mean, we laid a very solid foundation, and drove the the dietetic agenda to the point where it was later merged with nutrition to become this formidable Gand that we see it. I was also involved in the Allied Health Professional Council now, when it was Allied Health Professional Task Force. I had opportunity to also work together with RD Mensa, representing the dietetic group, on the task force, helping and lobbying for the task force to become a council as we see it now. Of course, my work also transcends the local front in terms of my passion for the nutrition agenda actually goes, to the continental level, where over the years I've gathered a lot of experience by being involved with African Nutrition Society, where I served as the professional affair administrator and currently the head of treasury and also acting professional affairs administrator. And one of the things we strived to do is to move from continent to continent, creating awareness of the importance of nutrition through organizing international conferences. We had opportunity to bring very seasoned from not only the African country, to attend these international conference. It's a privilege to mentor and also train currently I'm with the University of Ghana as a also
Doctor's network seems to be giving him issues. Let's wait a while to see if he would join back again. He will be able to join back again.
Yeah, hello, Madam Moderator. My sincere apologies. I've changed it. So hopefully you should be able to hear me. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so my sincere apologies. Hopefully I've changed the device. So let me quickly just go through the ideas that I also have, that as I said, if I'm given the opportunity to serve, I would also bring on board. So the first idea would be to focus on advocacy and public policy, which would not be too different from what my colleague, Professor Ayi, mentioned, but I hope to collaborate with legislators through my links and my associations over the years, and also policy leaders to be able to promote health. One of the areas that I think that probably as a body we may have underutilized is collaborating with the district health directorates. A lot of things go on in terms of promotion of nutrition and good health at the district level. And for me, I think one of the things we can leverage on, especially if we want to be visible as an association, is to collaborate throughout the year with the district health directorate, because they do a lot of outreach programs, especially when it comes to particular, health month or specific dates, like the UN date for hypertension, cancer. They do a lot of programs, and they also get a lot of media coverage. So I think by partnering with them, to reach out to the community, we can actually leverage on that to become more visible. Okay. And of course, one of the ideas I would also want to bring on board has to do with education and accreditation. And we all believe, and I'm very sure we all agree that to become an effective dietitian and to be able to practice well, education plays a very important role. So what I intend to do together with the governing board, if I'm given the opportunity, would be to ensure high quality dietetic education in collaboration with the educational institution and the accrediting council, like the Allied Health Professional Council, by of course monitoring the accreditation process and standards of dietetic practice very, very closely. So as an educator, I believe in quality. So one of the things I would want to bring on board is to leverage my experience to be able to continually monitor, our education, so that we would get to a point. My hope is that we will get to a point where we would have a uniform and standard education, such that that can actually be translated into practice. We would have a very standard practice that everywhere within the country, we would all be speaking with one language, as dietetic professionals, nutrition professionals. And the other idea I would also want to assist with is ensuring financial sustainability. And I think this, we all agree with me that no organization can work effectively if we do not have funds. So fortunately, I am a current key member of the organizing committee for the upcoming ANEC. And I think that it is one way we can really, use to raise funds for the organization, and also, of course, the collaboration between the academic and the health facilities. I believe that we are sitting on a lot of potential data, or there's a lot of research opportunity that we can actually work together to apply for funding, to be able to do research, driven just not by education or the institutional, but then Gand can actually get involved, and it's a way of raising money amidst other things. And then, of course, one of the things I also believe in is inclusion and diversity. And one of the things I would really also want to champion is to encourage everybody to come on board. I believe that our individual diversity can actually help us to strengthen our organization. I know there are some that may be very good when it comes to speaking. There may be some that they may not be good speakers, but they may be very fantastic organizers. So this diversity and this strength, I believe, we harness it very well. We should be able to make a lot of progress. And then finally, effective communication. One of the things I intend to do is to institute quarterly meetings, especially among the dietetic group, where we can actually share ideas and also brainstorm, about the group, especially the dietetic group. This is not to say that the dietetic group will be isolated or not, but to be able to discuss things that would enhance the practices, of the dietetic profession, to the benefit of the whole Gand. I usually operate an open door policy, and I believe that together we will be able to navigate the complexities of our ever-changing world and also to inspire positive impact in the field of nutrition and dietetic training and practice. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you, and I hope that you give me the nod to serve. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam Moderator.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Please, a round of applause for Doc. We are almost done. Almost done. The next on our list is the Practice Standards and Accreditations Committee Chair aspirant. He's in the person of Mr. Collins Efriye Apia. He works at the KNUST. Sir, if you're on call, the virtual podium is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Portia. And, good afternoon to everyone. And I would also want to acknowledge our able executives and also our senior members on call, senior physicians and dietitians on call, to everyone. Thank you once again for this opportunity to for me to share the plans I have as if given a mandate as chair of the Practice Standard and Accreditation Committee. So I would have my video off in order for me to have a smooth presentation. Thank you. Right. So briefly about my background.
I can't hear you, Collins, or is I'm the only one?
No, I think we've lost him. Hey, let's see them.
Okay.
Mr. Apia, are you still on call? Please, let's wait a while to see if Audi Collins will join back. Yes, he is. He's back.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, sorry, I went off. I don't know the point at which I went off. So, but I was on the background Yeah, so on the leadership aspects, I was involved in the elsewhere Ghana Dietetics Association as an executive member from 2018 to 2019 as the financial secretary. And I was part of the team that worked in transitioning to the current Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. So I was an interim governing board member of Gand as an interim assistant registrar from 2019 up to 2021. And then I'm also a member of some professional bodies, including Gand. So I'm a member of the Nutrition Society of South Africa and also the Association for Dietitians in South Africa as well. So I also come with the experience from both the nutrition and dietetics professions. Okay, thank you. So if given the mandates, what do I intend to bring on board? The Profession Standard and Accreditation Committee is actually a committee under the governing board. So my work will largely be to lead and then to lobby the executive governing board to ensure that there's the provision of standard and guidelines for nutrition and dietetics practice in Ghana. So key among them is to lead the coordination the development of up-to-date position statements on key nutrition and dietetics issues in Ghana. So for instance, there have been instances where I'm sure many of us will have that experience as well, where you meet people and then they tell you that they've seen a nutritionist or they have seen a dietitian, and it's like they are getting conflicting messages in terms of what they are supposed to do regarding their health, etc. So I believe that if we have position statements when it comes to, for instance, those in clinical practice, when it comes to management of diabetes, some of the key elements involved. Okay, so we should have that and published on the Gand website, and even if possible, also liaise with the PRO to get them also to educate the general public on these things. So in other jurisdictions, you have the nutrition professional bodies. They develop their national guidelines on certain key nutrition issues. They are published on their website so that people, practitioners, the general public, can access this information. And it really helps. Okay, so I think this is one of the things I'm going to champion as the chair of the Profession Standard and Accreditation Committee. And as the chair of the committee, I'm going to ensure that I have a very balanced committee. I have people from nutrition and dietetics working together in the committee to ensure that we come up with recommendations that will really be relevant for nutrition and dietetics. And also, I intend to lead the committee to collaborate with practitioners and academics to complete the work on standardization of the serving size and portion size measures for nutrition and dietetics practice. Yes, a lot has been, some work has been done in this area already. I had opportunity to work with the outgoing chair of the committee in an effort to standardize our serving size and portion size so that when it comes to practice, especially those who are into nutrition dietetics practice in the clinical setting and non-clinical areas, when it comes to measures of serving size, we are all uniform, and so that we are able to consistent voice that the public can really appreciate and understand. So I intend to really continue the work in that area and see to the completion of the work. And that will involve partnership, collaboration with practitioners, academics. So we can work to make this some aspect of this work research focus of Gand that academics can take up and then work with their students as part of their student projects and then come out with findings that we can use to build up guidelines for practice. And also, I intend to also lead the committee to support the governing board in the effort to ensure harmonization of nutrition and dietetics training programs in Ghana. Yes, I'm sure we are all aware of the efforts of the outgoing executives to ensure that we have harmonized curriculum and training so that nutrition dietetics trainees that we churn out year out from our training institutions, competent and really ready to contribute to the nutrition discourse and agenda in the country. I also intend to work with the governing board and the chairs of the nutrition and dietetics group, and as well as members of GAN to develop relevant professional development programs for members to ensure members are current and up to date, and also are relevant in the aspects of nutrition and dietetics practice. Yes, so the outgoing executives have been doing a lot of work, especially in recent times, where they put out calls for topics for CPD programs. So I'm going to continue in that area. And in addition to that, from my experience and an exposure in academia, sometimes there are calls for scholarship opportunities for training, short courses, etc. So I'm going to work with other colleagues and members in academia, both nutrition and dietetics, and so that when these calls come up, or when they come across these calls, they are able to also relay them to the executive, the secretary, and myself, and then we'll make this, we'll publish it on our various platforms, so that members can also take advantage of these opportunities. And also conferences. Sometimes there are also conferences that are happening, nutrition and dietetics. And the members may not be aware of this. So I also intend to make this, publish this on our platform so that members can also take advantage of this and also build up their capacities. And also, lastly, I intend to also lead the committee, support the governing board in its work with the training institutions and the regulatory agency. Currently, our main regulatory agency is the Allied Health Professions Council. So I intend to work with this, the agency and the training institution to ensure that nutrition and dietetics curricula across the training institutions are relevant and up to date, so that to help the training of nutrition and dietetics professionals who are well equipped to address nutrition issues in Ghana and the sub-region and also the global scene. Yes, so I intend to work with the governing board so that Gand, as a professional body, will really make inputs into new institutions that are rolling out nutrition programs and existing ones that are revising or are renewing their accreditation. We make a lot of inputs in there to make sure that these programs are really relevant to our needs in Ghana and even the sub-region. One aspect that probably we have not really paid attention to, and which I think will enhance the capacity of Ghanaian trainees so that we can take advantage of opportunities in the sub-region is, for instance, French. So if we are able to make French an integral part of nutrition training programs, so that when the graduates come out, they have basic competence in French. Then they are also able to take advantage of opportunities in the sub-region for international opportunities, that's can also help our graduates to also take advantage of opportunities outside Ghana as well. So these are the plans I have. I tend to bring on board to contribute to the governing board and also the association of the professional body, if elected as the chair of the practice standard acquisition committee. So a vote for me will help in leading this agenda. So I'm counting on your votes in the upcoming election. So thank you very much for your time and your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, R.D. Collins. Thank you very much. Please, if for any reason you are likely to forget your question, you can kindly type it in the chat box. Yes, thank you. Up next is our Gand Foundation Chair aspirant in the person of Daniel Mensah. Daniel Mensah, if you're on call, the virtual podium is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to everyone. And I'm grateful for this opportunity. Again, because of network, I'll remain without the video, if you don't mind, but we'll let you see me after the presentation. All right. This will be my second bite of the cherry as far as this particular position is concerned. And the working together with the outgoing executives in various capacities have actually helped bring the academy to a point where I believe now it is very possible to do or embark on the establishment of such an ambitious wing of the academy, and that is the Gand Foundation. Who I am, again, I'm a registered dietitian currently with the University of Health and Allied Sciences at the Department of Nutrition and Dietetics. Have been along or have been a major or an integral part of the Gand story since inception, and even before that, as the I have also served in different capacities in the XY Ghana Dietetic Association, a former General Secretary and a former President of the GDA then, and probably the President together with the former President of the then Ghana Nutrition Association, Prof. Steiner, who together discussed the setting up of Gand. And I'm always proud seeing it as a project a number of people played a role in bringing thus far. And I think I'll just leave that profile there. But as a member of the Gand Foundation, as a member of the Gand Governing Board, I've also served in different capacities, chairing a number of committees. The most recent one being the chair of the organizing committee of the COND, which we had last year at KNUST. For me, my vision or aim for the Gand Foundation is to build a world-class or help set up a world-class foundation or a world-class nutrition foundation that would serve as a hub for collaboration, knowledge sharing, and implementation of innovative programs and initiatives that address various nutrition-related challenges. And this hopefully will play a crucial role in bridging the gap between scientific knowledge, practice, both in the clinical setting and public health setting, and of course, national and community level engagement and interventions. Now, the approach to achieving this building this world-class nutrition foundation is actually a three-pronged approach, a number of which had already commenced, and we'll just be building them up as we or within this couple of years that will be hopefully with your endorsement, we'll be able to now have it established the way it needs to. Being the in as much as, like I said, it's an ambitious project, but we'll be careful to make sure that the objectives of setting it up are very measurable and attainable. And so wouldn't want to pretend as though it has been around for a decade, and therefore we can look into doing lofty things. And so there are three approaches that is on top of my list. And the first one is to help clarify its areas of impact and operations. And the first one is the area of research and innovation. And as a nutrition foundation with what we want to build it to be, we'll actually be looking at directing and funding and also investing in cutting-edge nutrition research that will be collaborating with academic institutions, practitioners, and even industry partners to deepen our understanding of the relationship between diet, health, and disease prevention. And like a number of my colleagues, especially the secretaries, aspirants have, as if we were sitting together, have mentioned, this will come with leveraging on the very strong academic and research fraternity that are key or integral part of Gand. And if there's any blessing that we enjoy, it is that community of researchers and academicians. And leveraging on their experience and their constant availability, thankfully, we should be able to identify areas of research needs, both currently and the future. And how to call it, look at ways of investing in those needs so that we'll quickly be able to translate those findings into needed interventions in solving a number of nutrition challenges in the country. And therefore, the kind of research that hopefully the foundation will be helping to invest in or lead in implementing will be more of intervention and innovation kind of research. The second way of achieving this areas of impact and operation is in the area of nutrition education, awareness, and community outreach. And here we are looking at how we can now develop and implement comprehensive nutrition programs, reaching out to vulnerable communities and areas of the population and the country as a whole. And of course, it will come with empowering individuals who will make informed choices as far as their nutritional health is concerned. And so relevant community outreach and engagement will be at the core of this approach. And of course, how we can even help bring nutrition, how to call it, care and intervention to the doorstep of those who are even cut off to some extent will be one of the means with which we'll achieve this. The third approach in achieving this will be policy advocacy, and thankfully a number of my colleagues have also mentioned it. And so the foundation hopefully will look at engaging with policymakers and stakeholders to advocate for evidence-based nutrition policy. And all these things that I'm talking about will be more or less a collaboration with the various offices that we already have within the GB, that is the governing board. So evidence-based nutrition policies, regulations, and programs that support the kind of healthy community we want to build will be a key approach that the foundation will look at driving. And then, of course, finally, building capacity and developing relevant training programs that will resource the nutrition and dietetic practitioner as far as achieving our core mandate of bringing evidence-based practice to the citizenry. The second one is the governance and operationalization of the foundation. Thankfully, again, the outgoing governing board had accepted the structure and the framework of governance and of the Gand Foundation, and it's going to be more or less like a foundation set up like a different entity, an NGO kind of entity on its own, registered separately from the Gand, but having, of course, been an offshoot of Gand, but having its own operationalization entity. And of course, that will mean that it should have its own board of directors and it should have its own management structure. And thankfully, the current GB has accepted that. And so what is left is now implementing it. And so the individuals who make up this board of directors and the management team will be put together to now run it as an entity. And because it is through that and in keeping with international practice as well, it is true that the mandate of the foundation can be realized. So this governance and the governance and operationalization of the foundation will be hinged mainly on transparency and accountability, collaborative partnership, data-driven decision making, and then, of course, helping identify and developing talents from among our membership, retaining them, and making them the key components of that governance structure. And then lastly, the last approach has got to do with the main thing, that is the financial strength and sustainability structures that will be put in place. Now, the foundation or every nutrition foundation, and the Gand Foundation will not be any different. It's supposed to be the cash cow of the academy itself. In most places, it's even way richer than the academy, but that will mean that the financial strength can only be achieved if, one, we are able to identify diverse funding sources. Two, we are able to prudently manage the financial resources that will come into our domain. And then, of course, have cost-effective operations and identify areas that we can engage. And then, of course, there'll be structures where accountability and stewardship can easily be measured. And that is why it has to be run as an entity with very competent people to draw in such funding to support its operations. And this is the three-pronged approach that I intend leveraging on to achieve the world-class nutrition foundation that the Gand Foundation ought to be built on. And I trust that with your nod, we should be able to achieve this together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daniel Mensah. We are left with just 2 people to go. So we would have up next the zonal representative on the governing board aspirant, in the person of Alberta Seiram Ajua Ananga. If you are on call, Madam Alberta, you have the virtual podium. Thank you.
Okay, so good afternoon to all. I am, like was mentioned, I'm Seiram Alberta Ajua Ananga Aiti, and I'm a registered dietitian. I am a holder of MSc Human Nutrition and Dietetics from KNUST. I hold a certificate in making agric work for food and nutrition security from Netherlands, a first degree in psychology and information studies, UG. And then I'm a professional home economics teacher with 24 years experience. I've been in Gand for yes, I think since Gand was instituted, and then I've served with the local zone as an organizer, and serving now with Gand local for organizing the 9th ANE that's about to take place. So, vying for the position as the zonal representative on the Gand governor. My quest to do this will provide me the opportunity to serve, advocate for we, the members of Gand, through the grassroots. As we all know, the foundation of Gand is on the grassroots. And so I'll do this by trying to empower members to attain their full potentials as professionals in whatever area they may find themselves through further studies, research, good practices. I'll do that. Then I'll try to help improve our membership strength by at least 50%. Since we know the foundation of Gand is on the zones, we'll try to have connections with schools and health directorates, all necessary protocols to ensure that we get all our members on board. I'll also be a mediator between the grassroots and the national leadership. We'll advocate for policies and legislations that will benefit our profession. Those will be my mission. Lead and champion collaborative and networking opportunities available for our members. So we will get involved with other agencies, other governmental bodies that will facilitate opportunities for our members. I represent our common interests as nutritionists and dietitians in the zonal and national levels. I also support and provide leadership and guidance on professional issues and continuous professional development. My commitments are as follows. I'll make sure your voices are heard by ensuring your concerns and ideas, and I'll represent them at the zonal and national levels efficiently. We'll disseminate information to you at your doorsteps, since I'll be working together with the various zonal reps. I'll help in your professional development and continuing education by assisting to provide resources and topics which are of relevance to our profession. You engage, there'll be a lot of engagement and collaboration from interdisciplinary collaborations, which will provide various opportunities for members of Gand. We liaise with the national leadership to champion evidence-based nutrition practices and emphasize on patient-centered care. I will also continually keep members from all the zones updated and informed about opportunities, policies, current trends, research, and other industrial developments, so that they can tap into it for their own benefits. I will coordinate together with the zonal leads to improve membership strength, which is the main point here. Membership strength from the grassroots by organizing membership drive programs together with the various organizers and then teams of the zones who have interzonal activities that will connect us and unite us. Example, we could celebrate zonal months or even regional months to highlight the things that are going on in our various regions or our various zones. I pledge my transparency. I pledge to be accountable and available to perform my duties and the various actions, work together with the elected members so that we will push the agenda of Gand forward and be heard all over. With my experience as a leader in various committees, organizations, I hope to take the challenge and then share my experiences, my thoughts with you for growth, professionalism, and excellence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Alberta. And finally, we have our student representative on the GB aspirant in the person of forgive me if I murder your name, in the person of Julius Agbagba. Please, Julius, if you're on the call, the podium is yours. Thank you. Hi, Julius. Julius is not on call yet. Okay, so I want to indulge all of us to put our questions, those with questions, kindly put your questions in the chat box. While doing that, add the name or the position you are addressing the question to, so that we don't spend a lot of time wondering who you are asking. So maybe you want to ask a question, just like the question in the chat box, direct it to the person you are asking. Thank you. Hi, Julius. Are you on call, please? RD Bedu, can you kindly help me reach out to Julius? Let's find out what's happening to him.
I called him. He's joining.
Okay.
He said he dropped off, so.
Yes, he did. Thank you. So while we wait for Julius, kindly put in your questions for our candidates. I suggest we take this question while we wait for Julius, since he's the very last person we are hearing today. So we have a question in the chat box. It says, to the chair aspirant, Standards and Practice Committee. I think this is RD Collins's question. He says, how will you contribute to making the AHC more effective and efficient, especially when it comes to licensing, and also their response to messages or calls sent to them? RD Collins, you have a question.
All right, thank you, Idrisu. Yes, I know many of us might have experienced this challenge, especially when it comes to communication with I suppose AHPC is what Idrisu is saying, yeah. So the HPC, sometimes messages are not responded to, etc. But what I have realized in recent times is that now they have decentralized, so to speak, to some regions and then major cities across the country. So sometimes when people people send the messages directly to the head office, they tend to experience delays in the feedback. So, but when messages are sent through the zones, the various zonal office, the feedback tends to be much better. So I think we will need to educate our members on that. So that's just on the side. But what I will do is to lobby, to continue to lobby, to speak with them, and then also get to really speak with them, and then get the key contact people at the various Zooms that members can direct their messages to for quick feedback. And then also, my doors are always open. If you face such challenge, you can always contact me, and I can work through the executive, through the general secretary, and the other members of the executive to bring our to bring our effort to bear, and also making them really respond to nutrition and dietetics issues that they have to. I don't know whether that satisfies Idris' discussion.
Idris, are you okay? Is your question answered?
Yes, please. I'm okay.
Thank you very much. Please, if you have a question, Julius is not on call yet. So if you have a question, kindly raise your hand, your virtual hand, and I'll give you the opportunity to speak. So while we wait for the hands to be raised, let me ask my question. I think my question will go to 3 people. One is the president's aspirant, the nutrition chair aspirant, and the dietetics chair aspirant. My question is, how would you work to salvage this this rivalry between the nutrition and dietetics professionals? I remember some time ago, I was talking to one of my good friends on joining Gand, and she emphatically told me that she won't join because of some sort of rivalry in her facility, and she works around the central region. She's been in the system for a very long time, but she just doesn't see the need to join Gand. And I know a couple of our colleagues would be facing similar challenges, if not reported, but some of them, I know a couple of people that are actually having this invisible fight or rivalry in their spaces. How, in your capacity as president, chair of nutrition, and chair of dietetics, what would you do to salvage this thing that is actually eating up our membership, since we are going to be in the era of prospering and populating Gand? Thank you.
Okay, so I think I can take it first. I think it's a germane question. I have been in this space for a while, and I realized that there is I think it is a lack of capacity, then lack of understanding, and our quest to protect our sphere or the turf of work. That has brought a lot of these quabbles that we from time to time see. So I think that for me, having been in both Ghana Dietetic Association, having been in Gand, I realized that there's more for us to gain by deciding to work synergistically than to try to always stand and decide to point out of where each of us belong. We know that by training, like Prof. Ayi said, dietetics is a nutrition discipline. And by training, we know that the training dietitians go through to practice, it is not the same training the general nutrition course provides. So in terms of hands-on experience and all that, we see that the dietetic profession in the bigger nutrition sphere is focused on individuals, on using nutrition to care for others. Then we see that at least that is how it has played out in our context here in Ghana. So from the Ministry of Health, you see many of the advocacy work, many of the public health, the community work, the population work is taken up by the nutritionists. So that has even influenced what the Ministry of Health scope of practice and job description when they employ a nutritionist or they employ a dietitian. So I think that if we come to understand the focus of our individual trainings and the abilities that we have, right? Sometimes it becomes a challenge because you have a nutritionist who have been posted to a community to help with the prevention or public health agenda. And you see pure or out and out clinical cases really also coming to the facilities there, and there's no dietitian. So as hard as they will try to do and manage it as best as they could, right? So sometimes it is necessity that will push someone who may not have been well prepared for taking care of people in the clinical settings to take care of them because there is no professional. Now, I think that is a fine opportunity for, especially the Gand agenda. There's no problem for a nutritionist who is in a place where there's a clinical case. Right now, we have the list of Gand, we have our website, we have everything. You can easily reach out to any dietitian to assist you to manage the person. And if it's at the level that can be dealt with, or you try and refer to somebody else who has the competence better to manage it. So I believe that for some time now, it has been that one, dietitians have been alone, nutritionists have been alone, nutrition practice has focused on public health, dietetic practice has focused on clinical care, and it seemed to have created some dichotomy between us. We've been together for the past 5 to 6 years, and I believe that we are getting to understand ourselves. And this matter is level-headed understanding and cordial discussions that can solve it. So for the individual who even said he would not join Gand, if you dig deep into it, you realize that there must have been a rivalry, or maybe there was a case that a dietitian will say, oh, this one is for dietitians to see, this one, then they will talk about it. But if we all understand that, because having worked with my nutritionists in my facility, the kind of work the nutritionists do and the load of work on them, I don't think any nutritionist will want to force and add dietetics to their work. It will even break their back. So what I think is that these frank discussions would have to be made. We have to really see the focus of the various trainings we are being given in our various facilities and where we can function best. After all, we are all in the same general nutrition fraternity, and we must not, for the sake of the population that we take care of, we must not force to do things for the members of Ghana in areas we are not really competent about. So whether as a dietitian or as a nutritionist, let's focus on the places we have been trained and help the people as best as we can. And where there should be collaboration, So for me, as if I am giving the note, I will foster that discussion, frank discussions, to tell us that the focus within the whole fraternity have been different. Unless, how do we work at our various places of focus together and separately, so that we'll be able to do the best for Ghanaians and not fight amongst ourselves. So this will be my approach. Over.
Thank you very much. So I think I'll come back to the other two responses if need be. We have Julius on call now. You've kept us waiting, Julius. So you have the podium to talk to the people you are going to represent, students representative on GB. Julius, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry to have, please, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. Okay. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I had to take care of an urgent assignment. So my name is Julius Evame Agwagba. I'm vying for the position of student rep, and I have to make a disclaimer that I'm not a student. But when I followed up, I understand that the role of the holder of such office is somebody who acts more like a person to coordinate the activities of students in Gand. So I felt, looking at my experiences so far, I would very much want to contribute to Gand in that regard. And talking about my experiences, I'm a former student of University of Health and Allied Sciences, where I worked with the Maxwell, Conlal, and Alfred's administration to found the Ghana Dietetic Student Association, and we've been very vibrant, and we've done a lot of community initiatives, and it was very rewarding. And sometimes when I look back at these experiences and the current situation on the campuses, I feel sad that probably our students are not getting more involved in what it takes to give back to the community or to be proactive when it comes to Gand activities. Because as a student leader, I would say that we're one of the institutions that have high participation in Gand level programs all the way from Ho, and we attend programs in Accra, and it was nice. And I've benefited from it. I've networked it, and if I am given the nod, I would want to put in strategies that will help students to also have exposure to some of these experiences, not just to practicing dietitians or nutritionists, but also colleague students elsewhere. Now, how do I hope to achieve this? I hope to achieve this by working together with the Gand executives and the student leaders to develop a lot of inter-campus programs and professional mentorship programs where students will be linked to mentors within or outside their schools, where they can have experiences, share clinical experiences or expectations, or people who would always mentor them to be the best at what they can do. And not just this, but also I would interact very much with the students. And when I say the students, I'm looking at the nutrition, I'm looking at the dietetics, I'm looking at the dietetic technicians and all the people all the way in northeast region. Nalerigu, the students being trained there, I would try as much as possible to reach out to all of them to expand the student base of Gand, and also to make sure that whatever the students desire or whatever the students wish to communicate to Gand, it gets to those who or the ears that need to hear it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Julius. Now we have some few minutes to questions So like I said, if you want to ask, you can put that in the chat box or you raise your hand. I think I asked a question, we didn't finish, and then I had to let Julius to speak. So while Prof and Doctor is answering my question, I indulge you to put up your hands or you put your question in the chat box. Yes, Prof, I think your mic is on, so you can.
Yes. Thank you very much for your question. I think I was expecting something like that. I think the aspiring president. First of all, let me send in a protest, a small protest. It's not any very relevant protest. Yes, it's a comic protest. The aspiring president and the dietetic chair are going to be vying against me, who is the nutrition chair, aspirant. And therefore, it's a mismatch already. But I don't fear them. This just laugh. It's a laughing matter anyway. But on a more serious note, I think the chair has raised a lot of very condescending issues that will help in will foster a lot of unity between the two fraternities, nutrition and dietetic fraternity. You heard in my presentation that I was talking about championing nutritional sciences as the core aspect of what we are doing. Nutrition as a subject or as an area and dietetics as another area all fall under the mandate of nutritional sciences. We were trained as nutrition and dietetic students, and that is a training that is going on in every other sphere. I don't know about any other area. However, you see, when the dietetics people started, when they started the training, and I was privy to all those things when it started, they were concentrating more on the practical aspects of dietetics. The nutrition bit was not very solid. And I'm sure if you don't agree with me, you can go back and look at it. I don't know whether now they have solidified it, which is something we are trying to do in UDS. We make sure that our students are grounded in the nutritional sciences before they become dietitians, so that you don't fall back and then you'll be having shortcomings as far as nutrition is concerned. This is what has happened over the years in America and other places. And now nutritionists, dietitians are required to go and do nutrition all over and to learn, go into the details of learning certain nutrition bits and then adding on nutrition as part of their profile. You see, we have also gone that line, but we want to go away from that and ensure that we are together. In the last session of, in the governing board session, when they were chatting these, the CPDs, I remember very well, I made some cogent suggestions, so nobody listened. There were instances where some CPDs were touted as dietetics, for the dietitians or for dietetic practice. And I said, why should you do that? There's no difference at a certain level between nutritionists and dietitians. The only thing is in the practice. So whatever, and don't get me wrong, nutritionists must know even about dietetics and some practice. They need to know it. If you find yourself somewhere where there's no dietitian, at least the little you have, you can afford to. And dietitians must know. Whoever is a dietetics practitioner must know about nutrition practice. So he finds themselves anywhere. They are well versed in nutrition and they can help in that area. That is the concept of nutrition and dietetics. But we have diversified the thing, and unfortunately, the health setting has not helped. People in the health setting who are doing the dietetic practice, sitting in consulting rooms, tend to think that because they are consultants in the consulting room, they have a certain clout. And as for me, I don't buy that. It is not that busy complete and then throwing stethoscope around your neck that makes you a proper or practicing dietitian or nutritionist. It is something that we must inculcate in ourselves. It started in the last lesson when we were trying to dichotomize these CPDs and so on. It is not, look, if we begin to do that, and I constantly raise that issue and nobody listens, Nobody was listening. I said, look, we are trying to divide ourselves. It's in the interest of other the stakeholders and other people to help to divide us and overcome us. If we stay divided, that's what will happen. That's why we keep, in drawing up this, we are trying to draw up a new curriculum to train our professionals. If we want to do that, we want to go in a direction where there is no advantage of one over the other. And at the end of the day, you choose where you want to belong and so on and so forth. That will bring some kind of unity among the two groups. But henceforth, or moving forward, we should try to put them together. And I'm more of a unifier than a divider. That's how I've been over the years. But I've tried to explain where nutrition, dietetics falls and so on. And in my explanation, people have misconstrued me to mean that I'm trying to, but that is what it should be. We should be together. It's a good thing to be together. We're all from one stem, nutritional sciences. So don't let us try to see ourselves as different and one holding themselves superior over the other. Otherwise, it will not help us. I think I'll lay my listening claim here. Thank you very much.
Other moderator.
Hello, I'm so sorry. Dietetics group chair, would you want to respond as well? I still do not see questions in the chat box. I think this signifies that our candidates really did well and they were speaking the minds of we, the delegates. I'm very happy we don't have questions for our candidates, meaning they are the good people we actually hope to have on the executive team. Dr. Frank, would you want to respond as well? Is he on call? Oh, shit. Dr. Frank is not on call. Okay. I think my question has actually provoked a lot of things. Anyways, any other question? I just have a few minutes to wrap this up. Any other questions?
Moderator, there's a question by Saram on the chat
All
box.
this while I've been reading it and I didn't know I was muted. Thank you for drawing my attention. So I think she's the zonal rep candidate. She's saying, what is the acceptable norm in the international realm? Because if we keep basing our arguments on what we want to do in Ghana, we can't move on. That is why you are coming on board, Ma, so that all these things can be a thing of the past. So far, there's no other question. So without much ado, I want to kindly indulge us all that our voting that was supposed to be on the 31st would now be on the 30th. 30th, there's a pre-AGM, which would have a lot of us on board. So we just want to have it at once so that we don't have a meeting on 30th and then on 31st as well. So voting will be on... Yes,
I raised my hand. You didn't see.
I'm so sorry. I didn't see. Sorry,
yes,
sir.
I wanted to find out about something from either the chair or the dietetic chair, whoever, any of the aspirants. In fact, in all our presentations, I don't think anybody has talked about how to encourage the members who are standbys, or who are sitting on the fence, especially for the nutrition fraternity. A lot are on the fence. I keep saying this. There are so many nutritionists out of Gand than in Gand. And there are also dietitians who are also not joining the Gand. Apart from that, there are even those who are yet to come on board, who are still the universities trying to come out. I've had questions from university students about why should they join the Gand and so on and so forth. So I wanted to find out, what are we going to do? That's a question that we want to, how are we going to foster the, the enticement of people who are supposed to be members of this Gand to come on board, because we talk about it's numbers. We need numbers for everything that we're doing. We need the numbers. So how are we going to do it? For me, I've been doing my part. I don't know whether anybody else is doing something. So it's good to start having those ideas from here, so that when we come together, God willing, if we all come together, we can move whatever agenda that's necessary to whip up our numbers, so that we grow in that kind of dimension, which will help us as an associate, as an academy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you very much. I think the president, the vice president, and I think some other person mentioned how they are going to work to galvanize all these people. I think someone even mentioned on how they would work towards getting people as members, as in paying dues directly from source and stuff like that. I think Julius also buttressed on the point that he would actually have mentors around these institutions to actually inspire the young people as a students, and also leverage on that opportunity to roll them in as Gand members. So I think you probably wasn't on call by then. Thank you very much, Prof, for re-echoing this, that we need the numbers to actually make the difference. Thank you very much. So I don't see any other hand up. Okay, I see Mr. President's hand up. Prof, sir, you have the podium. Kindly speak.
All right, thank you very much. I've heard very wonderful presentations, and I believe Ghana has a future with all these promises. I would just want to ask a question. I didn't want to, but I think I have to ask this question. Gand is not a Vidiagro in terms of the time commitment and in terms of us putting our personal interest behind looking at the collective good of Ghana. I look at Ghana as Ghana and not as an individual or whatever. Maybe this question may go to all the aspirants, especially our leader and vice. How are we going to combine our professional activities, our homely activities, and all sort of other activities in ensuring that we have consistent meetings as executives, as we expect to have, and then also be there to do what is expected of us in the interest of the academy, even at times sacrificing our personal good for this. Thank you.
President aspirants, you have a question.
Hello, thank you very much, Prof. Preku. I think I can identify with what Prof is asking. I am with the current GB, and I know what it means to. I know what Prof Preku is talking about. This work is exceptionally sacrificial, and it demands a lot of time. So for me, I have to look at the time past and look at the time ahead and to decide whether I would want to continue or not. So once I've come to the decision to continue, I will make the time for it. Thank you. Over.
Thank you, R.D. Beidu. Any other concerns, issues, suggestions?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me just say that for some of us, time may not be of very much constraint. Because me personally, I've come on retirement, even though I'm not tired. But for those of us in the north, we always have a task, a huge task, bigger task, not just of time, but of distance. And that's going to be another issue to have to come to terms with. I don't know how the previous Gand was doing or holding their meetings. I don't think everything was virtual, right? I'm sure on some occasions they have to meet face to face or something like that. For us in the north, it takes 3 days. 3 days to come to Accra and back. That is, if you want to come and do something on a particular day. That's if it's going to be face to face. So that alone is a huge sacrifice for us, apart from the time. But some of us have, because of some of these things, we have tried not to be involved in most of the things that have been done as far as being executives are concerned. That for me has been the issue when I was in Ghana Nutrition Association, and even when they from the beginning of the inception of Gand. I've tried to stay away because of this fact of if you have to come for face-to-face, I have to travel all the way one day, come and stay, accommodation, transport, feeding, nobody gives you anything. And the rest of your colleagues who are in Accra and nearby, they just drive in, have a meeting and go back. And you have to go through all this, without any compensation. And that is the reason why some of us have stayed, me particularly, I've stayed out of executive committees or meetings for a very long time. But I think this is the time for me. I want to make that impression in Gand because I believe in nutrition and I believe that nutrition has a better part to play in our development. So if it happens that I have to come 3 days and do all those things, I'm ready to sacrifice that. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. So,
Wow. Okay, I think Auntie Sariam says, Prof, we hope to be guided by your mentorship and guidance. Amazing. Mr. Kula, okay, thumbs up.
Yeah, maybe I just wanted to make a comment alongside what Prof have said. It's true, it's sacrificial. And so what it means, yesterday, somehow I was speaking with President, aspirant on this same issue, how we are going to be able to meet and discuss issues about Gand. And I think maybe what we need to do moving forward, if we are elected, is to have from beginning of the year, we know exactly when we are meeting, and that will guide members to plan. And of course, I always believe that if you want to succeed, you have to work with busy people, and it may be contradictory. But if you work with busy people and you tell them ahead of time, they are able to adjust and be available, and they will deliver. But if we don't plan ahead of time, and this being a sacrificial job, we may have challenges with people availability, especially those of us who are up north here, like Prof said. It will take us some time to be able to get down there for us to meet, or we may have to strike a balance of where we need to meet, but that will have financial implications. So we just simply have to have a plan in place and then roll it out, and then I think people will be ready to play according to the timelines. Over.
Great. I think I'm excited about the commitment coming from all our aspirants. It means we are going to have a very busy people doing busy and great things for Gand. That's nice. Okay. I don't see any hand up now. And there is no question in the chat box as well. All right. Kindly be reminded that every other information concerning our elections will be out there. And when you see a notice, kindly forward it to any Gand platform you belong to, so we can reach out to as many people as possible. It's been an amazing day listening to all your visions and your directions for us in the coming years as Gand members. And it's very exciting to have the president of Gand being with us from the beginning till this time. I've just been monitoring to see if he would drop off, but he's been such an amazing person. Please, let's put our hands together for our president for staying through with us. Please, virtual round of applause. You can use your reactions, then you see the virtual applause. Let's put our hands together for him. Thank you very much. I also want to appreciate my boss in the person of Dr. Michael Wiafi Akintin, the chairperson for the Electoral Committee. He has given me the nod to stand in his stead to moderate this session. I am so grateful, Dr. Akintin. All right, we have come to the end of our manifesto reading, and I know you have heard from everyone and you have made your choice already. All that we are all hoping for is on the 30th of August to cast our votes for our new executives. So without much ado, I kindly call on, let me see who I would call on. Okay, so let me call on Hudu Al-Hassan to give us the closing prayer. Hudu Al-Hassan, if you are on call, please kindly give us a closing prayer. Thank you. Oh, Hudu Al-Hassan just dropped off. Okay. You are still on. Salauddin Idrisu, please, can you pray for us to end this session? Salauddin Idrisu, please pray for us.
All right. Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So can we be in the mood of prayer? We all praises be to Allah, the one who has given us the wisdom and life to have this fruitful discussion. And we pray for his guidance, whatever the aspirants have for us. We pray he continue to guide them onto the right path, the path on which he has bestowed his blessings, not the path that his curse is upon. And we pray that Gand will forever be as strong as it is now and give the members and all aspirants the best in what they wish for, the academy. This and many more, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much for giving us a prayer. Thank you very much to you all, my dear audience. I am so glad you stayed with us till this time. I am very, very grateful. So we would share the next updates on the polls, campaigns, and the like. So I am sure in few days to come, you would see our post concerning whether or not you can start campaigning for your votes. Thank you very much, and all the best to all our candidates. And thank you, Mr. President, once again for staying with us from the beginning till this time. Prof. Ayi, you've been so amazing. Today, I knew you can actually be brief, you know, and I'm so excited to see this part of you. Yeah, so God bless you, and then have a beautiful day. Bye.
Bye. You didn't show us yourself. You were showing pictures.
Myself?